My name is Lori. I'm with the Goodbye Good Girl Project. And why Goodbye Good Girl, you say? Because this is where we usher the dogma out of the room. We help women learn, we teach them how to become non negotiable in their lives. And what we do is together here, 6 days a week, we come into direct experience of the power and the insight and the knowing of our own ability to move beyond the shoulds, to move beyond the rules, and have direct experience of our own abilities, our own strengths, our own creativity. We've been taught in this culture that we don't have direct access to that. This is a complete lie, of course, but it is what we have been told. It's what we've been taught. It's what we've learned. And we've learned it as a setting, as a set point that, oh, I don't have the ability to really have a huge impact on my own life. Like life is just the way it is. And I'm just going to have to deal with it. Or I either have to overcome it, you wrestle it to the ground. Hey, Pam, wrestle it to the ground, or else I'm going to have to give into it and just deal with the consequences. And we have way more power than that. But we have been enculturated to believe that we are powerless. And the fact is very different from that. The truth is very different from that. hmm Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is Lori here from the Goodbye Good Girl Project. I have TikTok here. I have Substack here. I have a world here. That's you too. And I welcome you. This is where we break rules, y'all. You're in the right place if you like breaking rules. What I mean is, let's get rid of the dogma. Let's get into direct experience. Let's get into questioning what things really are. Thank you, Scooby. And hi, Noodle. Haven't seen you for a little while. Good to see you. Hi, Randy. Nice to meet you. What I do to begin my Soul Sundays, my mystical Soul Sundays, is I do a quick reading on the collective, a quick tarot reading. Then we talk. We talk about the sacred texts, about the mystical readings of the sacred texts. We talk about the meanings that are based on physics, that are based on numerology, that are based on astrology, that are based on personal experience and investigation of the same. We look at all the different. Sarah, hi, baby. We really do take on the assumptions that we all have been given, that we all hold together. And we look at them and we investigate them and we start to dismantle the untruths so we can live and be the truths that if you've been in spirituality at all, you've spent years going, well, I'm actually one with that. But then are you living it or is your life a complete shit show? And a lot of times we're in the shit show. Now that's just something that happens in life as well. We don't live on one plane. We go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, right? We've got a lot of different levels. We cannot pretend, and it would be silly and time wasting and stupid to say, well, I never ever suffer or I never ever struggle. Of course you do. This is actually part of the learning. Hey, Sarah, love. This is actually part of the learning. It's part of what we came here to do. It's like you came in and you said, okay, I'm going to be so creative about my life. I'm going to show that I am one with that. It's like coming awake inside of your dreams. It's like lucid dreaming. We came here for some lucid dreaming, but not while asleep, while wide awake, which is trippy. I love trippy stuff. Fair warning. I love trippy stuff, but I don't just let it lie there and be trippy and cool. I always question it. I always have to make it practical. We do not want spirituality or religion anymore that just gives you dogma that you don't get to question and you don't get to make it help strengthen you or help you rise. Now, that said, if you are a religious person and your religion strengthens you and helps you rise, good for you. You might not like it here because I question the traditional descriptions. I question the traditional meanings of the Bible. Like today, we're going to talk about this whole thing of praying in Jesus's name. I'm not even Christian by birth. I'm non-religious Jewish. I'm socially Jewish by birth. But I got the same download everybody else did. All the downloads about Christianity. I mean, I grew up in the same country as all the rest of you, if you're here from the US, which is the one that goes, well, it's Christmas time. We don't go, it's Hanukkah time. We say it's Christmas time. And we understand that that includes all these other, hey, EJ, hey, Kiki. We understand that that includes these other sorts of celebrations. And then we get the people who are threatened by any other kind of inclusion going, oh, there's a war on Christmas. Oh my God. Names hold power for sure. Yep. Yeah, Sarah, I'm 100,000% with you. Um, besides besides the whole historical thing of was there really a human called Yeshua, because his name was not Jesus. Jesus is actually a Greek word called Hail, which means Hail Zeus. So, one side is like, well, was there actually a human being? And in one sense, hi, Abigail. Yay. Hi, Kelly. In one sense, it doesn't really matter. Now, if it matters to you, please go research it. Go find some answers. I mean, all of this stuff is so freaking fascinating. It's fascinating. Hello, darling face. So glad to see you, Abigail. We are in such an incredibly pregnant time of awakening. I'm getting more and more excited about it. And that's after having become completely alarmed and sad. And I feel very energized this morning. Thank you for that reflection. Papa Winga. I like that name. I feel so galvanized more and more by by the awakening that's happening within me and how I'm seeing that, oh my gosh, what is happening is beyond what I could really imagine. And I can imagine a lot, but there's a difference between a sort of faint imagining and then suddenly you start going, oh, 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 I see it. Oh my God. You feel it too. I'm so glad. Mhm. So we're going to talk about this whole in Jesus's name thing because my point is not to tear down for just to be violent. I'm not a violent person. I am a very passionate person, but I am not a violent person. And also I believe in doing things for a forward moving, upward moving purpose. I believe in this motion. I also believe in this motion and this motion. I don't believe in this motion endlessly. Abigail, clue us in, babe. Did on the, what was it, the 18th, or was it the 28th? I think it was the 28th of February. We had like all of the planets in one place or something. I mean, it was something mind-blowing. Ugh. So clue us in. Thank you for oh, by the way, guys, send this out. Please share this out because then we get more people coming in and we let people know they're not alone in a time when a lot of people feel alone. So share this out, please. And also keep hitting the screen and DJ, hi, sweetie. It's too much. Okay, that'd be great. Oh, thank you. Please put the link in. That's awesome. Just keep hitting the screen so that there's a lot of likes because that pushes us out to people together and we create more community. And that's what this is for. This is for community. Community. Sarah says, awakening, releasing control and conditioning. Yeah, that's my favorite. Planting seeds of intention. That's a really cool one. Yes, community is my word, baby. It's my freaking word when it comes to these lives. Let's bring more people in. Keep sharing this out. Keep sharing it out. Okay? Let's do it. So it's Sunday. Is everybody doing well? Meh. Um Yes, yes. Thank you. How is everybody doing? What's happening? What's going on? Let's share. Um, yeah, you're in awakening chapter for sure. Jenny, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the community. When I was in my 30s, I got into a group therapy group, and it became a community. You're heading into work at noon. Okay, so we've got an hour. We can hang out for an hour, DJ. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, so when I got into this group therapy thing, and what I learned over the next 11 years with these same 5 women every single week, week after week, was the incredible value and resistance to initially, um, connecting, being like really like here, I'm not okay, or I'm really great. Like there's a risk in either one. Like, oh my God, I'm not really okay. You may be breaking through your own stuff about I'm not supposed to admit that I'm anything but fine. And the other side of like, I'm doing freaking fabulous. You may be breaking through something that you're going, I'm not supposed to be that good. So it's whatever breaks us through these internal places of I'm not supposed to, because you know what? Right, right, right. Um, we've got to break the rules. And it's not the rules externally. It's not running into Congress and being a dumbass. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not January 6th energy. It's let's look at what the hell is ourself is saying to ourselves and go, are you sure about that? You sure about that? So anyway, this card flew out from my tarot deck. I just like to do a little reading for the collective energy before I start into the spiritual and mystical readings of the tomes and conversation with you guys. Um, and the card that flew out for all of us this morning is the Wheel of Fortune. I think this is it. Paragon, babe. Mwah. Hi, sweetheart. Um, this is the real deal. I almost have no words, and I'm like a serious wordaholic. So that's telling you something. I am having so much awakening around stuff, like just insights into things. Holy crap. Oh, DJ, I'm so glad you're not embarrassed by tears. Tears are the blood of the soul, they say, which is a really poetic thing to me. I like the way it sounds. I love it. 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 That we're here. We're in the change. Oh my God. It's so freaking exciting. And if you're sitting there and you're going, I'm not excited. Why are you excited? I'm scared, or I'm freaked out, or too many things are changing. I understand. Honey, been there. Have those moments. Like seriously, just because this journey we're in, this journey of awakening is not what we thought it was going to be. We thought, celebrate, baby, celebrate. Yes. And you know what? Celebrate early and often. And here is why. Our energy, our collective energy. Okay, let me back up. We're all energy. That is our source code, what they call the source code. They call source code in like computer stuff, IT stuff. What is the source code? Is it, I don't even know. I don't know squat about, programming, but well, I know a little squat. Is it Python, and is it this, and what is the source code of that particular action? Well, our source code as humans is that we are energy. So any emotion that you have has an energetic pulse to it. Depression is a very low and unmoving, like very slow moving energy. And being really happy is like more like this kind of energy, right? Okay. So your energy, it's that collection of beliefs and thoughts and expectations and la 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 la, is always pulsating out into your world, creating opportunities, and it it based on where that is, you can see certain things and not see other things. Hi, blessing, welcome. And the thing that gets cool is when we stop just being unconscious putter outers of energy and we become conscious choosers of what we want to feel, which is trippy. It's seriously trippy. I love it. Wait, you mean I can choose? But wait, but right now I'm feeling ABC, not XYZ. And I want to feel XYZ. So what do you mean I can choose it? This is what I'm really feeling. That's the spiritual path. That's like a huge part of our ascension at this time, is to ask that question. If I'm feeling ABC and I'd rather feel XYZ, how the heck do I get from here to here? And the way that we have been trained is to think that we have to go anywhere. We've been trained, you're not enough as you are, right? You are, I mean, it's the whole original sin thing, which even if you're not Christian, even if you're not Catholic, even if you're a freaking atheist, there's still this inbred sense of you're not enough. Sorry, you're not enough. You need to be more, blah, 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 blah. It's bullshit, but we get the download. And then that filters through so many parts of our lives. We go to the doctor to see what's wrong, and the doctor says, it's this. And we have a sense maybe it's not that. But we go, well, I don't know. I'll just believe the doctor. That's part of the I have no power. Thank you for the share, Paragon. Yes, please, everybody share this out. My name's Lori. I'm with the Goodbye Good Girl Project, and I teach women how to be non-negotiable in their own lives. On Sunday, we do Mystical Soul Sunday, and we break the traditions so that you can see the truth and you can make your own choices. You can decide if you even want to break the rules or not. That's how powerful you are. You can decide to listen to this stuff or take off. There is no one teacher who's going to be able to take you from understanding to embodying. And that's what I want you to know, is that what you're looking for is the pieces that you can use to build the bridge, your unique bridge to your awakening, to your empowerment. So that anything that is a should or a rule in your head, I want you to begin to understand or feel or that you are more than allowed to question it, poke around the edges, look at it and ask, is that really what I think it is? Is that really helping me? Yeah, the journey inward. And, I think of it's so interesting, Abigail and everybody else. I see this cross in my head. And for us as humans, we keep going like this, right? Like this journey has been like looking for answers and looking for teachers. And when we finally awaken to some aspect of, oh, this is literally about me, then we start this other journey. And it's a journey like this because it's simultaneous. The more downward you go, the more upward you go. The more upward you go, the more inward you go. Not downward, inward. That's how I see it. That's the imagery. And I think it's glorious. I think it's fantastic. There's something I want to talk with you guys about today. As above, so below. 100%, Sarah. Yep. Look at you. Mind melding. You guys are mind melding. I love it. So listen, I am not a biblical scholar, but I am now Bible curious because I've been reading it mystically with the help of an incredible teacher whose name was Bill Donahue. Okay, his name was Bill Donahue. Amazing. He looked at all of the spiritual tomes, all of the. Oh, thanks for the follow, Breath. He looked at all of the mystical tomes, the Kabbalah, the Bible, the Quran, you name it. And you can see him on YouTube. You can go blow your own mind anytime you want, because that man was funny, fabulous, and I hold that man in my heart. He just died transitioned in January. I think it was January of this year at the age of 91. I think he transitioned because he was done being without his wife of 68 years. That's what I think, because she died 2 years previous. Okay. So here's something. What he does is he takes all of these biblical things that a lot of people have just been absolutely tortured with as kids, right? Thou shalt, thou art a bad person, thou art a good person, oh, you are going to hell, oh, you are, scare tactics by people who want to control us. And that started millennia ago. Okay, that's not new. It's not new. But here's the thing that's really mind-blowing for me is that all of the stuff in the Bible that has been used like a big switch to to hit yourself with or be hit by the teachers with actually has a mystical meaning that gives you your power. Soul contracts, you can look up Carolyn Mace. I think she talks about soul contracts. But I would just type soul contracts into YouTube. I'm sure you'll find a million things. And then you'll be like, which one do I listen to? And that's the point. You decide. And the way that you decide is not here. It's not in your head. It's not, you can include it, but you want to feel if this resonates with you, whatever it is. Does this resonate with me? Or does this make me feel tightened up? If it does make me feel tightened up, why? Am I being defensive? Or is it because this is really not my jam? Those are the kinds of questions you want to start asking to reclaim, reclaim, you see that thing up there? Reclaim your sovereignty. I'm doing a workshop. It's going to be a 4-week workshop, and it's going to start on the 19th of March. So I don't have it set up yet, but we're going to get into our emotional bodies without going into the trauma. Isn't that nice? Yeah, we're going to use a lot of fun group work from acting, from improv, and we're gonna expand our emotional ability so that things don't upset us as much. Or when they do, we don't need to either run or shrink. You know what I mean? Okay. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, just let me know. And I can let you know as soon as the back end is set up, because I'm currently arguing with my computer. So, okay. Let's talk about the whole pray in the name of Jesus, right? I pray in the name of Jesus. But there's a problem with that. Okay, so the first problem, you don't have to be a biblical scholar to have noticed that a lot of people, maybe including you, have prayed to Jesus. In Jesus' name, I pray. And it hasn't done anything for you. You're like, damn, I'm not getting an answer. That's because Jesus in the Bible told you don't do that. Jesus in the Bible said, I'm not the one who answers. You have direct access to that. Chapter and verse, y'all. Chapter and verse, right? This is cool stuff. This is so seriously cool stuff. Let's see here. Okay. At that day. Okay, so he starts, I shall show you plainly of the Father. At that day, ye shall ask in my name, and I say not unto you that I will pray the Father for you, for the Father himself loveth you, because ye have loved me and have believed that I came out from God. Do you get what that's saying? It's so cool. That is saying, if you love me and say that you understand that it's about what's beyond me, and that what's beyond me is all of us, is all that you too shall do what I have done and more, then you'll stop praying in my name. You'll stop praying to me. You'll stop asking me to pray for you. And you'll just start communing. You'll just start connecting. Hey, Maura. Hi, honey. Happy Sunday. Good to see ya. This is considered audacious. For millennia, it's been considered audacious. How dare you say that you are one with that? So you think you're God, huh? Yes. Can you feel everything in your body go, what the? I do not mean that I'm in control of you. I don't mean that I'm in control of the world. I mean that it's like, do you know that you are your father's and mother's daughter or son? Yes. Are you made of their seed, DNA, bones, blood, energy? Yes. How, how is how is it different? If I say God, Godness, I call it Godness because it's less triggering and because it's more descriptive of the energy that I see God as being. God, God is energy, pure positive love, energy, all of that. God is not the guy sitting on some planet somewhere going, let me see. She like Santa Claus. She's been a good girl. I'll give her some stuff. She's been a bad girl. I'm not giving her stuff. And yet, because we have not known that, because we've been conscripted into this army of, hi, we're all religious now. And we have to go to the man, literally the man, to get the blessing and literally pay with money that God don't need to buy our way into being approved of. Are you kidding me? We have believed that we have to make some shit up so that we can understand what spirit is. So we're right next door to this, right? But what we've been, it takes a long time, doesn't it, Abigail? I love this stuff. I love this stuff. Anything that can render me mute for a moment is pretty amazing. Pretty freaking amazing. By the way, TikTok's here, Substack's here. Okay. So here's Jesus going, don't pray to me. Pray to your Father. Love me, but understand that your love for me is because this thing is coming through me. It's just like, oh, dear God. And plugging into that in some way, seeing that in some way is revolutionary still. But that is the evolutionary switch we are in right now. We are the pioneers, you guys. We're the ones. We're it. We are the pioneers of this new frontier. Truly, of this new frontier of, oh, I don't have to pay attention to these rules. And instead, thanks, precious. And instead, I can discover how this all works because I come from that. To quote Abraham Hicks, you are made of that which creates worlds. Take that literally into your thoughts for just a moment and see if that doesn't blow your freaking mind. I am, okay, wait a second. I'm made of the energy that creates worlds. Yeah, that would be God. That sounds gaudy. That sounds godlike. Holy crap, really? Okay, what does that mean? Like, how do I, if that's true, how do I get that energy? Or if I'm made of it, where is it? How do I use it? How do I plug in? How do I make this work? Oh my God, this is interesting. Oh, I'm not allowed to do that. No, no. Religion says, no. I must bow to the man with the funny outfit and pay my 10%. For some reason I still haven't figured out, but I'm going to follow the rules. Um, and then you go, wait a second. I feel better when I'm questioning than when I'm not questioning. So I think I'm going to keep questioning. I might not tell all of my friends right now because, or I might not tell my parents or whatever, but I'm questioning. Now you're on the path to you. Questions are sacred, I'm telling you. What does it take for us to come into alignment, into experiential experiences of ourselves as being made of the energy that creates worlds? What does that take? And from the human, from the consciousness, the sort of, I'll call it the 3D consciousness of I'm only human. It requires being curious and saying, if I'm not only human, what else am I? If you get to, wait a minute, I understand that I'm energy, that's a big freaking paradigm shift. But I would appreciate it if you guys would tell me what aspect of I'm energy sounds great and feels completely like unapplicable. Where is it inapplicable? But you're just like, that sounds great. I believe it. But how do I, what does it mean? I would love to hear the questions because that is where the bridge is built, is in our questioning. It's like, okay, so I'm energy, but where do I find that energy? My answer to this is emotion. This is what I teach. It's the 1% solution, which is energy. Yes, 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 yes. What am I really capable of? Yes. What a great freaking question, alive and free. Oh my God. Yeah. And it's like, and the way I hear that, since of course I can't hear tone on a chat, but is like, what can I not do? What am I really capable? Like, what can I do now that I didn't even think I could do? And if I find that I really can shift and be a creative part of this non-corporal part of life, oh my God. Because I've known for years that they say I'm a co-creator of my own reality. And that's the question, alive and free. That's the question I want us to be asking. I mean, I have answers. I'll give you my answers and you can do with them what you will. But what I hope that you will do with them, if nothing else, is go, let me think about that. Thank you for the follow. Because this is the era of us learning to question and to think for ourselves in new ways. This is it. Now, I'm going to tell you that physics says that everything is energy. Am I a physicist? No, I am not. Physics says we are all energy. Metaphysics says we are that. We are co-creators. We are energy. Physics and metaphysics are married. Abigail, that is an exceptional thing to put out there. Because it is said that we can't find new answers with the same mind, with the old mind. We can't find the new answers with the old mind. But questions, when you leave the answers open at the top, now you're cooking with some gas, baby. If you're going, what does it mean that we're all energy? And you go into your day and into your life with leaving it all open at the top. I wonder, right. And you you actually know. Here, let me explain. Have you ever had an epiphany? A moment of like, oh my God, I never saw that before. I never thought about it that way before. Have you ever had that? In that moment, you have just stepped outside of what's already been thought by you. Yeah. So in that moment, you've stepped outside of the known, and you've just and what's happened is a light has been turned on within your consciousness. It's not that you never knew it. That's a wrong way to put it. That's just confusing. But this light is turned on inside. It's not like it's an alien being and it feels like, what the hell is that? No, it feels like it's always been a part of you. You're like, oh, well, of course. That's the light coming on. And now you have been expanded. Your energy, your awareness, your consciousness has been expanded. Now somebody comes to you and talks to you with your old understanding, and you go, that's so cool because I just learned something different. Let me tell you about it. You're like, that's so cool. I understand totally where you're coming from. And I just had this epiphany. Let me share the epiphany with you. And the other person may go, I don't believe in that. You, okay, fine. I'm not going to, you don't have to make them feel bad. You were them before the epiphany. Okay, it's cool. I don't have to beat you over the head with it. But you can find places like this and other places in real life and stuff where people get it. And they go, oh my God, I love having epiphanies. Like I love having my consciousness expanded. Right? And by the way, alive and free, we're all crazy, but just not in the way that you've been pummeled with. You're not nuts. The way in which we're all crazy is we've all been taught to believe things that aren't true about our limitations, about the state of our being, about who we are and who we aren't. And so when you meet a great being, an enlightened master, and I've been so fortunate to meet like 3 of them, they'll all tell you, you all are crazy. They don't say it like, but what they will tell you is until you're awake to what this world really is, you're deluded. It's not your fault. You came here for this journey into awakening, and yours is different than mine. Always will be. So what you're looking for in your community is a place where people are open-minded to exploration and to supporting one another in that exploration and doing that with respect and kindness. And if the group, because you will outgrow groups, right? Just like we outgrow people. And when you outgrow that group, because groups will try to grow at the same rate of speed sometimes, right? And so at some point you'll be like, I don't like that speed anymore. I want to go over here and do this speed. And so you'll leave and you'll go off. You go do a different thing. Perfect. You're following your own path. That's good. And then someday you come back, you go, oh, there's some more I can get out of this. Or you go, glad I left that group because it just isn't serving me. So we've got to question things. Pray in the name of Jesus. It's so funny. Bill Donahue, who I love, says, maybe this is why the prayers aren't being answered. They're praying to the wrong dude because his name wasn't Jesus. I love that. That's the problem. We're praying in the wrong guy's name. Oh, God, so have I, Abigail. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's funny, you can't even really call them wrong in a certain respect because you're like, oh, I learned this thing there, so I won't have to repeat that mistake. Yay, me. Right? So I wanted to show you something. I got my copy. Well, it's my 3rd copy. I made this years ago. Notes to myself. It's on Amazon. That's what that image is over on that way. whatever that way is on your screen. And I love these things. It's a dot journal. Do you know dot journals? I didn't for a long time. Well, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but there's like dots all over the page. And so you can use it as a line, but you can also draw with it. And it's lots of fun. And when I was having my incredible, amazing nervous breakdown in 2022, this is the journal that I used to do the 1% solution to cure myself of 40 years of clinical depression. So you want something, I just want to tell you, you want something this big. You want the 8.5 by 11 situation or 8 by 10, whatever the hell this is. Because um, you want to give yourself lots of room to express yourself. Now, if we're questioning things, how do we question things? We're so enculturated to let me follow the rules. Let me ask, Abigail, how do you question things? Me, first of all, I have a number of ways. Right? Right. But that's awesome. Maybe we'll just write a big book someday, all of us. Who knows? Wouldn't that be cool? Together, like all of us would be pretty cool. One of the things that I do is when I'm having a big feeling of some kind, and it doesn't have to be a major big feeling, but it's a feeling that gets my attention. When I get it is, first of all, I've now learned over time to stop whatever I'm doing, because my training of myself and my training from my life is keep pushing forward. Just push, 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 make it happen. Right? And that's very much what our culture's about, is like, just push, push. Exactly. How do you find answers that are true? You look, and you don't wrestle the question to the ground. You let the question live in you. And you start finding different possible answers. And it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. The question that I carried for a long time was, what does it mean? Sorry, cancel that. The question was, is there any way at all that this idea of God doesn't give you more than you can handle could be true? Because I don't believe it, because people go through a lot of trauma and they exit the planet, and that certainly seems like being given more than you can handle. Okay? There are a lot of suppositions in there that I didn't see. I just didn't see, like, the supposition is that anything you have is being given to you by this thing called God. That, like, there it is again, this assumption that you don't have the power. You don't have the sovereignty to make things change and be different in your own life. And I'm not talking about a different job or a different spouse. I mean, fundamentally transform, transmute, and change from you in your life. God doesn't give you more than you can handle. Well, for years, I just carried that with me. Like, is there any way in which this could be true? Could have a truth in it? Like, here's one I did get an answer to. No, I was going to say quickly, but that's a lie. But the ask and it is given. Really, buckwheat? Where's my boat? Where's my $1 million? What do you mean ask and it is given? So I went looking for an answer to that, and I got it unexpectedly at an unexpected time from Abraham Hicks, who said it is given, but it's given energetically. You have to come into alignment with this energy in order to see it manifest in your life. And I went, that's a different way to look at it. That's an interesting way to look at ask and it is given. It's here energetically. That's wild. So then how do I get in the right place? And with Abraham, if you're a viewer of Abraham Hicks, it's about getting into the vortex. But even that, it's like, what does that mean? I want you to be relentless, not against yourself, but with the rules, the shoulds, the great ideas. I want you to feel like I've got to find how this makes sense and how it is applicable for me, because then you are building your bridge from all of the external, I'm only human mentality into the, oh my God, I am that. I am made of that. And therefore what? Therefore what? So for me, the breakthrough in that way, I mean, I'd had epiphanies. I'd had spiritual experiences, but they weren't anything that was lasting, right? It wasn't like, oh my God, I had this experience and now I'm great all the time, or now I know how to make that happen again. Like, we really have been looking for a very, very long time for some answers that will work for us. And I just keep thinking of that movie, that beautiful movie, The Help. Ain't you tired, Miss Hilly? Ain't you tired? Ain't you tired of going, please, God, please, please, God, please? And then making up excuses for why there's no answer? I mean, aren't you hungry for the answers? Get hungry for the answers, because they're here. They're now here. There's so much information out there, stuff that was hidden mysteries. Yes, nature's very potent for that. Um, there, all of the hidden mysteries, you guys, are either out or in the process of coming out. You could, I mean, it's remarkable. The only piece you cannot get through a teacher and through YouTube and it is stepping into your own aliveness, knowingness, beingness, wisdom, experience. I think experience is probably the best word. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lori. I'm with a company called the Goodbye Good Girl Project, and I teach women to become non-negotiable in their own lives. I'm a speaker, I'm a writer, I'm a workshop leader, and I'm going to be doing a workshop called Reclaim starting on March 19th. And we're going to be working with our emotions, but we're not going to go into trauma. Yay. We're going to have some fun. We're going to fun our way into some expansion that those epiphanies usually give you, but we're not going to wait for epiphanies. We're just going to play our way in with exercises from acting, from improv, from sound, from community and consideration and sharing and intimacy and that kind of stuff. It's all online. If you have any interest in it, it's going to be 12 to 15 people only. So just let me know if you're interested to have the information when I'm ready, because I'm still working on the back end stuff. I don't have an assistant, so I work on the computer stuff and it's not quite ready yet. So, but just let me know, either DM me or you can let me know here if you're like, hey, that sounds interesting. I'd like to see some info about it when it's ready. And then I can let you know. So please do me a favor, share this out to people. Let's let other people know there's a community like this. You're interested? Okay, Alive, I'll let you know. Okay, where did I put my pen? What an idiot. Okay, I'll just take a screenshot. You got it, Jenny. Yeah. There's no pressure here. There's no like, oh my God, you gotta do something. But yeah, I'll just send you some info about it. Like where to go to read about it once I've got it all set up. Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the interest. That means a lot to me. Um, so here we are. Everybody in this room is into spirituality in some way, or recovering from religion, or exploring, but everybody in here has an open mind, for sure. Hi, Angela. Welcome to the community. And we're all looking. What are we looking for? Tim Curry, I wish. I love Tim Curry. Love Tim Curry. Have since I was in my 20s. Good Lord. Um, what are we looking for communally? You two, apparently. Um, wouldn't that be fun if that actually was Tim Curry? That would be awesome. Um, I oh, and a cult? Yeah, we look, you can look at spirituality. No, cancel. You can look at religion as a cult because it really is. Um, you can think of church as a cult because because what it does is it gives you a series of interpretations of words that have completely different meaning than you think they do. Completely, completely, completely. Chris, hey, honey. Um, and it gives us it interprets all of these allegories. It interprets them as truths, as story, like as real stories that are supposed to tell you you're good or you're bad, you're acceptable or you're awful. Like it. The church goes, here is a set thing, and if you just fit into this box, you're good. You're good. Then no matter what happens, we've got you. It puts itself in the space of we're your mommy and daddy, and don't worry, we're here for you. So what? If you go home and you're alone and you're freaking out and you're having depression or you're having um, addiction, who gives a shit if the guy at the church is for you? Thank God they're for you to talk to if you need to do that, but they're not going to be able to be in this moment with you, and you need what works for you. You need something that you can turn the on switch on. You. Oh my God, with religion. Thank you for that addition, Abigail. Yes, that's the other part of a cult. Is it tells you not only do you not need to think for yourself, but don't think for yourself. Don't do it. Don't go over to that occult stuff. That occult just means mystery. Occult simply means mystery. So they don't want you to get into the mystery because millennia ago, religion came in and said, "Oh no, you're way too independent. We want you to be obedient to us. And we want you to give us money every week because we're going to convince you that without that, God won't love you and that you're like stopping your good," which is complete hogwash. Did you know that the whole tithing thing, the 10% thing in the Bible, when God said, "Give me the 10% and I will give you everything you could ever want," God just meant sit down, shut up, and meditate. Shut down the 10% of your brain that is dominant all the time, going, here's how, here's the strategy, here's the goal, here's the intellect. It's like, sit the fuck down. Sit down and let the feminine, the intuitive, the vibrational, when you let that come online, my friends, my friends, something magical starts to happen. Now, when I say magical, please try not to think too big because we've been taught to think too big. Really? You mean like I'll get the job? You mean like I'll suddenly be fabulous? It's like, whoa. You might get that epiphany. You might get an epiphany and go, huh, I never saw that way before. And what you don't know is that seeing something in a new way, I mean a new way that you didn't think before, it radiates out. It's energetic. It doesn't just stay in its little cell. It radiates out into the rest of your consciousness. It radiates out into the way that you see all kinds of things. So when you sit down and you meditate and you suddenly are able to put a little bit of oxygen between you and your thoughts, because when you look at your thoughts, when you're like, huh, look at that. When you can look at something, it means, okay, I can look at this. This is not me. I Wow, my mind just exploded. Hold on, I gave myself the most amazing thought. Um, I can I'm gonna have to sit with that one. Sorry, I completely derailed myself because what I thought was, okay, I can't see my own eyes either. So that's not wait a minute, I can't see my eyes, so they're me, but they're not. Okay, see, I like okay, what's the question? How do people around you accept it? People around you may or may not accept your changes, but that's none of your business. In other words, it's none of your concern. You don't have to concern yourself about it. What you've witnessed when you've witnessed miracles being done in Christ's name is you've witnessed somebody whose alignment with that idea is so complete that there's no doubt, there's no self-doubt. The deal is when your energy is completely aligned with a thing, when you embodiment, yes, when you are no longer having some part of your psyche or your emotional body going, no, you're not allowed, then what you need is right there. We have too we try to have so much control, thinking that that's power, but it's not power. Power is generative. Power is pregnancy. And that can be pregnancy of the mind, pregnancy of the body, pregnancy of the way that you hold your life. And honestly, if you can become a womb in your life ready to catch at any time the new, you've just become the virgin, giving birth to your virgin Christ child. And that's what the entire thing is about. That's what the Bible is about. It's not about some kid. It's about you. You are the Christ child, and you can be born within this virgin consciousness. That's the other way to read the Bible. That's the powerful way to read the Bible. That's the don't shame me way to read the Bible or any sacred text. Every sacred text ever written is about you. The kingdom of God is within you. Whoa, wait, where? 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 Where is that? Where is it? That's a good question. So, alive and free, when you're talking about a husband who may not accept what you're changing into, a partner not accepting, not being comfortable with what you're changing into, then you have to come into a different part. This is my perspective, is that you have to come into a different part of the journey, which is the human journey. It is the empowerment part of your journey as a woman, where the feminine has been really just pushed out. It's just been pushed out. It's like, no, you don't pay no attention to that emotion. Pay no attention to that intuition. Pay no attention. And we've learned to put ourselves not only second, but all the way at the hell out of the room. We're like, I'm not allowed to come first. I'm not even allowed to be part of the freaking equation. Guess what? You are the equation. Coming into an understanding of yourself as having real presence and rights um and visibility in the world is a journey. That's a lot of what my workshops are about. I'm not trying to sell you something in this moment, but I'm telling you, that's what you wanna look for. You wanna look for friends, guides, teachers, um, courses, you want to look for those things that help you come into your comfort with the ways in which you're changing. Okay? You do not want to keep looking for yet another approval from outside. It's not wrong to want to have confirmation from outside, but if you have none coming from inside, you're out of balance. Does that make sense? You don't want to be out of balance because this journey, this sacred journey that we're all on is the journey of many faces, countless faces, literally countless. And all of the faces are available to you. All of them. Good. So here you are living with somebody who is going, "What the hell's happening to you?" I'm making stuff up alive because I don't know your situation. But let's say you're with somebody who's going, "What the hell? You're different than when I met you. What's going on? How could you believe this stuff?" This is one of the beginning steps that I had. I wasn't this was with friends rather than with a partner, but um okay, thanks for telling me. Um but it was scary. I was like, "Wait a minute, if I'm changing, everybody is going to think I've lost my mind. Everybody like what am I don't know who I'm going to be, and that's scaring me. And also, am I going to have to give up all of my friends? Like are they going to leave me?" These are these are big questions and there's a valid considerations, yeah. So, if we understand that that's a real deal, like, that's a thing. Like, "Oh my god, if I change, I don't understand who I'm going to be." Fair. You're right. You don't. But you're gonna get to choose, and that's the part you don't know yet. All you know is that the all you have known is beginning to change. It's beginning to shift a bit. It's beginning to look unfamiliar. So, it's it looks great when we listen to people talk about "Oh, I used to be this and now I'm this. I used to think this and now I think this." We're like, "Oh, that's so inspirational and I want to be over here too." It's the stepping into, okay, I feel the truth of this, but I'm not here yet. I'm not embodying all of this yet. I'm still over here going, "I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." That is the humility. The humility to say, "Okay, I really don't know what the hell's going on." Saying, "Here's what I do know. And here's what I don't know." It is incredibly, incredibly high. It is incredibly wise when you can say, "I don't know." That is a high wisdom. I am not kidding you. That is a that is a high knowing. People have shamed you for it throughout your life, right? "You don't know that?" No, I don't know that. Here, I'll give you one from my own life. Yesterday, I took somebody out for lunch. We've never spent time together before. I've known her through spiritual circles for a few years now. And I went back to her incredibly, incredibly gorgeous home. Oh dear God. When I get the money, that's the house I want. Um, and she said, "Well, look, you've got all of your laundry in your car." I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, why don't you just come do a load at my place while you're doing your TikTok live?" And I went, "Okay." So she was very carefully doing my laundry. Now, I'm somebody who's come through homelessness. I've come through mental illness. I've come through just all kinds of crazy shit. So, and I'm not a fancy, I would call it a fancy kind of person. Like, when you've come through homelessness and you've come through all kinds of stuff that really tested you down to your marrow, you're not so fussy about stuff anymore. You're just not so fussy anymore. You're not like that's not where your happiness lies. That said, people know how to do things that they were trained when they were kids. I've never been taught. And one of them is how to do my laundry. I know. You gotta look at me and go, "You don't know how to do your laundry?" Sure, I know how to throw all my shit into a laundry thing and then take it out and throw the shit into the dryer. That's what I know how to do. My mother did not teach me because she was busy having cancer and freaking out. So I never understood why people did the whites and the colors separately because I thought it was because that the colors would dye the white clothes a different color. Because I did that in college. I dyed a lot of stuff pink. But over the years, like that stopped happening. I went, okay, great. She said, no. She said, you don't know. And she said it with that tone of like, well, obviously you're going to get all these little pilly things all over your colored clothes that are like from the white clothes. And I went, oh, she went, you didn't know that? And I said, no, I was never taught that. And she immediately felt guilty, which good, you should. Stop shaming people by saying that they should know what you learned by default. Happy you learned it. Not everybody knows what you know. That goes for you. You know things other people don't know. And you don't even know what that is that you know that they don't know yet, which means all of us are teachers. All of us. And if we can just look at the people around us and go, oh, you don't know how to do XYZ or you don't know about XYZ. Uh-uh. And if they're defensive because like you and me, they've been shamed for not knowing things, you can be the safe space where you go, "Oh, I totally get it. Okay. You didn't know that. I get it. I learned that I can teach you. If you want me to teach you, I can." Or you can be the person who goes, "I know. I didn't know it coming in either and then I learned it. You want to know what I found out?" You become an incredible teaching safe space for people. This is where the transformation becomes cumulative and you become a force for such good in the world. Sorry, an even bigger source of good in the world. Isn't that fun? It's a whole different way of being in the world other than you don't know what I know and I don't know what you know. How could I forget all of that? We're all learning. We all came in as infants without any power and we each had to be taught how to use a spoon. So stop thinking you're all that because you know something. You had to learn it. And stop shooting on other people who don't know it yet and instead be a teacher, be a sharer. It's a lot easier on your nervous system, that's for sure. Where are we right now? How we all doing? And by the way, thank you for the hearts. I'm only going to be on for probably another 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So if you wouldn't mind hitting your screen like a mad person and getting me out to the FYP and sharing, then we can get other people into the community who think like we do and want to support each other. And by the way, while I'm here, while I'm thinking about it, I have a women's group. It is free. It is for empowering women in business. It's on Thursdays, and it is from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hi, Chris. And this is a place where we're human first, we're women first, we're interpersonal first. It's um, an integrative and personal growth empowering in business because we don't do business the way that men do. We don't. Hi, Mountain Mama. So, if you're a woman, you are invited. Hi, Bartholomew. Good to see you. Now, this looks like a register Zoom link, but it's actually a Zoom registration link, which will get you um, onto my list so that I can notify you if there are changes and things like that. Okay. And you can also sign up for either every single meeting or just come whenever you want to. Once you've signed up for one of them, you'll be invited to share it to your calendar so that every Thursday you don't have to remember it. Just look at your calendar. And if you want to come, you get to come. Cool, right? Okay. So that's the empowering women in business community. Okay. That's what that is. Okay. So let's take a moment and let's take a breath because I've been like on at you blah, 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 for a while, and you guys have been talking to each other, and I freaking love it. How is everybody doing? Is anybody having a spiritual, a religious, a personal growth, like, wait a second, my head is exploding moment, question that you'd like the community to weigh in on, that you'd like to talk about? Um, because that's the value of community. That's the value of community. You don't have just one person going, here's the truth, you must. But I will tell you that there is a truth, and you can research it in terms of physics if you want to. You can research it within yourself, which you should, meaning don't just take anybody's word for something, which is that you are made of energy. Tag, you're it. That's how we are all one. That's what it means by we are all one. We are all energy. We're all in an energetic flow. I wish I could tell you how I see this. I wish I could tell you how I see this. And maybe I'll try to make like a drawing of it. Thank you, Paragon. It's like I see, okay, like let's say you see like a field, not a field in nature, but like a screen of dots, just untold number of dots. And every once in a while, there are more dots in that area. There's like way more. It starts out here in this more, boom. And then there's like this, you see a figure in like an outline of a person in the dots, right? Every once in a while in this field of dots, and you see another whole collection of dots come together here. This is actually in physics what happens what happens, physics and metaphysics. When we are what we call out of the body, we're part of this field of dots. It's not that we're just vanilla and we don't have anything and we're not special in some magical way. I mean, but don't ask me to tell you how, I don't know yet. Still, we're part of this magical field. And then we go, wait, I really want to experience this. Hi, Susie. I really want to experience this physical thing. I understand that going into this physical thing, this area of existence is really freaking challenging. I also understand that I can learn some shit really fast. Now, fast doesn't feel fast to us, but I'd like to try that. I'd like to do that. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to go into an area that has limitation and then learn whatever lessons it is and things it is that I want to learn. So one of mine apparently is that I want to wake up within the dream. That doesn't mean I want to be enlightened and I won't be happy until I am. It means the nature of my learning is that I want to experience the truth within my humanness, not in spite of it, not instead of it. And that has really served me because when I cured myself of clinical depression after 40 MF and years, it was because I already had nurtured the setting within me for the previous 30 of like, I want to experience this. Like, I want to experience freedom, not just be handed it by somebody. Because if it's handed to you by somebody else, it can be taken away. I don't want it taken away. I don't want that. How can we step out of the 3D of I'm only human, life is just the way it is, and step into I'm actually my source code is energy. And because I am made of that energy which creates worlds, what am I really capable of? One of the things, and this is why I'm doing my Reclaim workshop for a month, you got to be able to feel. You got to get unafraid of feeling. It's not that you'll never feel fear. I don't mean that, but got to get to the place where you go, oh, this is a pregnant place to go. This has information. This is like, wow, this is amazing. The religion would have you be afraid of yourself, but you don't have to be. Okay? Come into the experience of your life. That's where it all is at. What should we do for the last 15 minutes here, guys? What should we do? What would you like to hear about or know about or talk about? Anybody? Let me see. What did Oh, I had an epiphanic breakthrough this week. You know how they say what you think is what you create, like thoughts become things? Back in the day, back in the 80s, when I first got into this personal growth field as a student, I thought, I really don't want to be the police chief of my own thoughts. That sounds boring and self-abusive. And so I didn't. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And as I've come along my path, all these years, I've gotten to being able to take some clues from what I've perceived myself thinking or believing. And that's not self-abusive. That's like, oh, like noticing a thing here or there. That's different from sitting here policing myself. So I'm like, okay, so I loosened up on the whole thing. I'm like, okay, I can get a few pieces of info here and there. And then I had an epiphany this week that I can't even describe to you because epiphanies are hard to describe, of what I think really is what I create. Like I got deeper with the understanding that I can literally create my reality by just, I love this. I love and want this. I love and want and appreciate this. Okay. And then sit back and watch it happen. So I'm now working with that. I'm now playing with that. I'll let you know how it goes. But the other part is, because I cured myself of clinical depression, the other week I went on to one of the AI programs and I said, okay, so here's what I did with the depression. I have been experiencing diabetes type 2 and I'd like to get rid of it. How do I do that? What's the emotion involved? It turns out that diabetes type 2 is about a sense of not being safe. So if I go into doing the 1% solution technique that I have, and I do it around disrupting the feeling of not safe and bring myself into a vibrational feeling of safety, if I can bring my sugars into a below a consistent below 80 state, honey, I'm gonna publish it in a freaking medical journal. I swear to God. I'm not famous, so I can't I'm not out there on some TV show going, yes, and then I cured myself, and people go, oh, that's so too few people know that it's possible for them. That's okay. The people who need to know. The people who don't need to know don't need to know. That's all right. It's all good. It's all good. We're all on a path. It's all unfolding. And if we would let it unfold instead of keep trying to force it to unfold, we'd actually go faster. So my message to you this morning is practice the art of allowing. Practice the art of allowing you to be you. Practice the art of allowing yourself to be dumb as a rock. Practice the art of allowing yourself to be freaking genius, because we're all of it. We're all of it. And because we're all of it, that means that some place that you go to emotionally that you go, I'm stuck, is a lie. It is intrinsically a lie. I'm not saying you're supposed to know how to get out of it this minute. I'm not saying that. But I'm telling you that foundationally, energetically, to say I am stuck someplace is not true metaphysically or physically. It can be true psychologically. Okay? Like, don't should on yourself and go, "Oh God, I'm not supposed to feel that." I'm trying to give you hope. I'm trying to give you an understanding that there's more here than meets the eye. So now I just feel like maybe I'm rambling. So I think I will let you guys go. But I want to thank you for being here with me. This has been lovely as ever. And yeah, let me know if you want to talk about something specific on another one of the lives. And I'm here 6 days a week. So here, let me put some times in here so everybody knows. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 4 p.m. I put $ p.m. It's Sunday, 11 a.m. Yeah. Hey, Paragon, are you still here? Because I want to ask you about what you said. Who proved, if you're here, thank you. Oh, you are still here. Let me ask you this before you go, or before I go, or before we go. Um, they proved that they can create mass from energy. Physicists did? And do you have like a link about that or some more details about that? I mean, I think the whole, Star Trek thing about beam me up, Scotty. I mean, that's complete possibility. I'm not going to be the one to do it. Just saying. I'm not going to be the first one to give it a shot. But because like I don't want to end up with my, no, thanks, no. Whoever is the first person to try that is like a total badass. It's on Nature magazine. Cool. Cool. So what are you guys going to do today? I'm going to go out with my best friend, who is a fascinating, lovely woman who's married to a MAGA person. She's been Christian her whole life, but she started very much to become less enthralled with the religion, but she's very enthralled with Jesus, and I approve that message. And it's been doing that global warming thing that it's been doing, and we've had like 60-degree weather over here in Ohio. So it's been kind of trippy. So anyway, have I helped you at all today? Have you and this is not so that you can soothe Lori's ego. Is there something that you can take from any of this with you today? Is there anything that you can take with you that's going to be a support for you? And the reason that I do this, the reason I ask you, is because we have a tendency to forget. I do this with my therapist all the time. We have this incredible thing, this incredible time. And then I finally realized I don't remember a freaking thing we talked about. So at the end of our sessions, I'll go, okay, so let me just write these notes down, right? Like, let me just remember this is what I heard you say, and this is what I remember. And writing it down is just really helpful for me. Jenny, I'm very glad. Make sure you write it down for yourself. Make sure you get specific about this is what I heard. This is what I thought. This is what I realized. Write it down for yourself. And just keep a running, keep yourself a little online or you can do it in writing. I love writing. I love both of them. But I love writing. Just keep it. Keep it for everything. Oh, what's this new thing I just realized? Oh, cool. Cool beats. All right, you guys. Aleutian girl. How lovely. I've never been to the Aleutian Islands. There's a lot of places I've never been. I want to go to Scotland. I am going to go to Scotland. This relates to that. This relates to that epiphany I told you I had of like, if I want it, ask for it, I get it. I mean, you have to come to a certain place in your own mind and your own vibrational being in order to even be able to say that and imagine that it could possibly be real, right? And I feel like I'm there. And so I'm ready to test it. So right now I'm making a list of the things that I want to experience, but I'm thinking about it in small steps. I'm thinking about it as like, what's the next thing that I want? Not, I want $1 million, but like, okay, Abigail, no problem. Um, I am, the next right, the next step is my first $5,000 or more paid speaking engagement. That's like a little bit over my comfort zone. So I can feel like a little bit of a clench in my gut, but it's not so big that I'm like, ah, geez, I'm going to have to go work on these issues and stuff. No. And I was listening to Dolores Cannon. If you don't know who Dolores Cannon, go look her up on YouTube. And she said, what we do is we just tell the universe what we want and we put in our order and we sit back and watch it get fulfilled. And I was like, that sounds good to me, baby. I've heard that before. And nothing in me felt like that's going to happen. But suddenly stuff within me goes, I get it. So being in alignment with a new idea, a bigger idea, a more expansive, empowered, sovereign way of being you in your own being. It's not about, let me think the right thing. It's about growing your consciousness. It's about growing how you see things and growing how you feel and letting yourself become free from the dogma so that at some point you can go, I do believe this. It makes sense to me, and I'm ready to test the theory. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready. Like, yes, my head's going, are you sure? That feels weird. That's very weird. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay that it feels weird. I'm still gonna try it. You guys, I want you to know how much I appreciate you, and I want you to have a good week. I want you to have an authentic week. Be real with yourself and be kind and open yourself. Leave your questions open at the top. What does it mean that I am energy first? Don't understand that, but it sounds fascinating. How can I understand that? Me, with my upbringing and my mental settings and my emotional settings. How can I understand how? And let the answer come in its own time, which I'm just now realizing is exactly what I just said with the putting in your order. It's the same thing. Cool. And then come back if you ever decide to tell us, share it with us. Like, oh my God, I just got an answer to this. Like, I found the answer. I'll let you go, I swear, after this. I I was looking, like I was talking about much earlier, I was talking about that saying, God doesn't give you more than you can handle. And my thought around that has always been, are you nuts? People wouldn't have to leave the planet voluntarily if that were true. People struggle and suffer so much. Think Robin Williams. And so that's more than he could handle, clearly. So the supposition in there is God's the one who gives you all of the challenges in your life. And that's not the deal. The deal is we give ourselves our challenges. We are literally energetically co-creating our own lives. And there is something from beyond this human area that wanted to have this experience and that said, I want to learn some things and I want to go through some things and I want to have some amazing experiences and I want to grow and I want to be delighted and I want to, all these things. We opted in, and this is my theory because I haven't had a near-death experience. My theory is I really want to understand. I want to know throughout my entire being that I am wealth. I am abundance. So what happened? I went freaking broke and homeless at 55 years of age. And I'm like, what? What? And like shame and fear and everything else, right? But God didn't do that to me. So, but I was still looking for how is it possible? Is there any way in which it could be true that God doesn't give you more than you can handle? Because there may be some spiritual way in which that makes sense. While in the human way of that's bullshit because people exit the planet voluntarily a lot. Is there some spiritual way in which that could be a truth with a capital T, meaning it's true for all of us? And for years, I've kept that one open at the top. For decades, literally for decades, I've kept that open at the top. And I finally got it sort of in the right order for me in my head and in my being this week when I went, oh, the energetics of which we are made don't demand of us that we do anything, actually. But we cause ourselves one hell of a lot of suffering. Now, this is not the only answer that can be. I'm not telling you this is the answer from on high, Mount Olympus kind of stuff. But for me, this shifts my energy. This expands my consciousness. This gives me a feeling of ownership in my life. I can ask these questions. Stop listening to the church. You can ask your questions. Stop listening to the temple. You can ask your questions. Stop listening to the mosque. You can ask your questions. Why? Because Jesus said, don't ask me to pray for you. I won't do it because you are in direct connection to the divine. Ask for yourself. Jesus didn't come here to go, let's be nice and calm and pink and pretty. Jesus came here to destroy the frickin' church. Jesus came to say the kingdom of God is within you. So stop looking to somebody else to give you the truth. You are the living truth. So you have to start coming into your humanness. Dare to get away from the idea that I'm not good enough, I'm not powerful enough, I'm not worthy enough. Because the truth is you are worth, you are abundance, you are made of that which creates worlds. That's who you are. That's who you are. Now take that information and go into your day going, mind blown. I'll think about it. Okay? Mwah. I love you guys. I will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. or maybe earlier tomorrow. I don't know because I'm taking the day off. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, guys. I'll see you later. And thank you for all the comments and the likes and the whole thing, the sharing. Okay. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.